and he might disrupt me during the workshop. Hello, Singapore. Hello, Munich. Hi,
Awesome.
hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today.
We have people from a lot of countries. Excited to see you guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. Okay. I think we can start, and if everyone will join us later, I'll make sure to admit everyone who wants to learn a little bit more about the creativity and AI. Please let us know if you can see us and hear us, if the slides are visible, just the tech check very quickly. Germany, hi Robert. Amazing, we have a great community here. Feel free to let us know in the chat what specifically are you focusing on. Are you working as a designer? Are you a creative director? Are you working in advertising? Do you like creating films? Have you used AI before? And we are happy if our attendees can network and connect. This is amazing to create a community. So feel free to also share your LinkedIn. That would be great. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, great. We can start. So today we have 1 hour workshop, and we will discuss, can machines truly be creative or not? I will be also very active in the chat. I will be answering all the questions. If you are a beginner and you don't know the names of specific AI tools that can be mentioned during the workshop, feel free to ask. There are no bad questions. I will answer all the questions. If there will be more, we will cover them at the end of the workshop. We will also see how the AI had changed the canvas of design 1 year ago and now. We will talk about AI-powered creative process. We will showcase amazing examples. And later, because we have a lot of questions, I'll share a little bit more about our AI Bootcamp for creators that will start next Monday. So, Sachin, you can take over here, and I'll be admitting more participants and wishing everyone a great workshop.
Awesome, great. Thank you, Diana, and thank you everyone for joining. So before we dive into our AI journey today, I wanted to share something we have been reading recently. It's this book called The Creativity Code by Marcus de Sotoy. If you have been reading that as well or read it in the past, please drop it in the comments below. We would love to see how many have been also reading similar books that we have been, right? So this book is all about how AI is stepping into our world of creativity. So we all definitely know that AI right now is making images, composing music, and even writing stories. So all of this sounds like science fiction, but it's truly happening right now, and it's happening at a very, very rapid pace. So as part of it, I wanted to unravel a few things of in terms of how can we think of machines being creative, right? I think that's a bit of a question which has, answers on both sides. So let's take an example and we'll walk through and we'll try to understand what it really means. So does anyone over here know what this Move 37 refers to and how it is related with AI? So if you have read about this and it's like its significance in the early AI developments and milestones, just type yes. And if you have not heard about this, no worries, just type a no so that we at least get an understanding of how many are familiar, how many are not, because it's a very interesting use case, interesting example to look into. All right, so I see a lot of people saying no. All right, so no problem. We'll take a look into it, and I think this is going to unravel quite a bit of questions, and probably you will take this even after the presentation and ponder over it, right? So Move 37 refers to a famous move in the game of Go made by the AI program called AlphaGo. And this was during its second game against Lee Sedol. So that's the guy here in the image. And he is one of the world's top Go players. This was back in 2016. Now, this artificial intelligence program was developed by DeepMind Technologies, which is owned by Google, right? So Move 37 was the particular move that that particular AI program made during one of these matches. So think of Go as a game where two players using black and white stones take turns placing them on a grid like you see over here. So the main goal is to use your stones to surround as much space on the board as possible. So the more the space is covered with these pieces, that player gets to win. So it's a bit like a mix of capturing territory and a puzzle. The player who can encircle the most area with their stones wins the game. So it's simple to start right now when you start the playing itself. But as you can think, it gets really deep and strategic and complex. And you get into when you get deep into the game with trillions of possibilities. So it's much more complex than programming an AI algorithm just for playing chess. All right, so let's take a close look at this historic Move 37. And what you will see next in the next slide, there is a short clip of the research team behind this AlphaGo program. This is the clip right after the Move 37 was made. All right, so let's take a look at it. It's starting to work now. So let me quickly play it and let's hear to this.
Fifth line shoulder hit.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't really know if it's a good or bad move at this point.
The professional commentators almost unanimously said that not a single human player would have chosen move 37. So I actually had to poke around in AlphaGo to see what AlphaGo thought. And AlphaGo actually agreed with that assessment. AlphaGo said there was a 1 in 10,000 probability that move 37 would have been played by a human player. So it knew that this was an extremely unlikely move. It went beyond its human guide and it came up with something new and creative and different.
There, I just wanted to stop right there. And when I saw this, whoa, this is like super amazing and an amazing insight when you hear someone actually say that a machine is creative, right? So that's very unusual. You don't really see a machine is creative. And here we actually see it happen in 2016. And what this teaches us is that most of these programs, when they are trained with a ton of data sets, they can actually be sometimes creative in a way that they can go out of the convention and try a new thing that is out there, which might then become some sort of a norm within the community. And this has happened with great artists like Picasso and every great composer that you have thought of. They have brought something new to the community, to the world of art, which right before it was never known, right? Something that was very new and something that was of their own. And that went on to become, hey, you say this is a very creative person and it is his own style. And I see this happening right now, right? So with these AI programs. So there is no right or wrong answer to saying, is the machine creative? I think this example really opens up our mind to, hey, how we can think of this and what kind of examples we have from the past. So we know that 4 out of 5 games were won by the AI program, right? So one of the game that is in the game 4, the human made a move, which is Lee Sedol in this case, that actually no machine would have expected either. And in fact, the AI program lost. So one of the game it lost because of this move. So it is also a very beautiful move by Lee Sedol. So indeed, it was just as beautiful as the move made by the Google machine. So it showed that although machines are now capable of moments of genius, humans have hardly lost the ability to generate their own transcendental moments. And I think we keep seeing this also in the art world. All right, so it seems that in the years to come, as we humans work with these machines, our genius will grow in tandem with our creations. So this is the exact mindset we need to adopt when we use AI in our everyday creative work, right? So that's the point I wanted to bring so that you get into the right mindset when you're collaborating with AI. It's not always thinking of, hey, how you can replace everything with AI. think always in terms of how you can augment, how you can collaborate with these AI tools. All right, so and that brings us to this particular topic, which is AI in the creative industry. So before we dive in, let's quickly step back a year and get some context, especially for anyone here who is absolutely new to this. All right, so if you remember, back in like almost 2 years ago, these AI generated cats, they were all over the internet. And sure, we all had a great laugh, but this was the beginning of something big in the world of AI and creativity. They might not have been like absolute perfect. There were a lot of mistakes in those images, right? But they showed us what was really possible. And fast forward to now, it's amazing to see how far we have come. AI isn't just about creating funny cat pictures anymore. It's become a serious tool for creative process and creative professionals to help us push the limits of what we can imagine and create. All right, so here is a wonderful example of the timeline of Midjourney. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have used Midjourney in one form or the other. Even if not, Midjourney is, by the way, is one of the state-of-the-art tools that are out there for creating AI-generated images from your text prompts. And text prompts are just a set of instructions or keywords or styles that you provide so that the AI program can generate these images for you. And as you see, it has evolved a ton over the past 1.5 years. Initially, what you see like images that make no sense, look really creepy. Right now with Midjourney version 6 are super photorealistic, coherent, and they do follow your prompts very, very, very well, very closely, right? So this is why it's very useful to use them in your creative process. So fast forward to now, AI can be used as a design co-pilot to brainstorm, concept, and design on-brand assets. And this is already happening right now. It's not new. This is already happening. Design agencies are adopting to this. Creative professionals are using this, and brands are also adopting to this. Of course, there are a ton of questions in terms of copyrights. Let's not get into that right now. But think of the possibilities that is already happening right now. Great. So if you have a unique concept design on your mind, you can definitely visualize them quickly. And this is one of the top use cases of AI in the creative industry, especially in the ideation and concepting stages of design and the creative process, right? So that's where it's most helpful. Take, for example, this unique concept visuals which we created where the print on the sweater matches the background. This is otherwise, just think about it, it's like super time consuming, if not impossible, if you use traditional methods to do this, right? But if you have a creative concept in mind, and you can use these tools effectively, you can get the job done very quickly. Finally, it's in the end up to you. You are the creative director in the process of making or giving instructions to AI and then curating those final images that it generates, right? You cannot just, you don't just drag every single image it's generating. It's your creative eye and your creative direction where you curate these images and then use it for your purpose in your final project. So this leap from these AI cat images and art to practical high quality imagery isn't just impressive, it's in fact a game changer. It shows us how AI is not just assisting, but transforming the creative process. So it's making it faster, more efficient, and incredibly versatile, right? So there's so many different use cases popping up and so many creative ways of using these tools. So let's explore how this technology is going to change the way we work and the entire creative process itself in the near future. Right. So I wanted to show this one particular example. This is a great example of how far we have progressed in 1 year. I'm an artist and I love drawing and painting. I wanted to paint one of these temples of Tanjore in India, but I could never get around to doing it because it was extremely complex and it would take me a lot of time. And I would stick to portrait drawings and portrait paintings and abstract paintings. But I think 1.5 years ago, when I saw a lot of people using these AI image generators, especially Midjourney, I thought, hey, why not give it a try? So I just went around building certain prompts, like taking inspiration from what others were doing, and I tried to put them together, and I could create this wonderful image. And I was totally blown away when I saw this. Right, I could generate it in a minute. I mean, I didn't know what really to expect. I just was exploring out there, and it went kind of viral on LinkedIn. So what I did was, at the end of this year, last year, I just took this image and see what I could do with the latest tools that were coming up, right? So that's what I'm going to show in the next one. Right. So what you see over there, if you're already familiar with many of these AI tools, I use the same image, the image that I generated almost 1.5 years ago. I used Magnific AI as a tool to enhance. You can just Google for Magnific AI. It's one of the best enhancers that are out there. So I could turn it into a much more photorealistic kind of image. And then I used Runway Motion Brush, where I could mask the area in the sky where the clouds were. And I could quickly add certain animation to it. So all of this within less than 5 minutes. So I could quickly turn this particular image into a captivating animation. And right now, I believe that imagination is the only limit. If you can think of the creative direction, the final idea that you have on your mind, if you know how to prompt effectively, if you have the mindset of experimenting, iterating, you know what are the right AI tools stack to use to then get the final work done. I think you can tackle any creative projects right now. All right, so let me give you a short introduction about us. Diana and I are the co-founders of AI Element Academy, and we want to help you unlock the full potential of AI in your creative process. Here you see some of the photos. This was from Web Summit. So last year we had represented our academy as in one of these biggest tech conference, which is Web Summit. And it was an absolute eye-opener in terms of the work that is happening in the AI right now. And we are super excited for all the new AI developments that will happen this year, and looking forward to this year's training programs that we have in place. All right, so these are some of the wonderful testimonials we have received from our past participants of AI Bootcamp. They have given us a ton of feedback and helped us improve over time on what they care about, what are their real challenges every day in the creative process, and we are super grateful to be having this particular community. Right, we can always go back to them and get their feedback and listen to them on what has improved in their everyday work. So now let me take you through a AI-powered creative process, what it looks like in its simplest form, right? I will do a quick comparison of what a traditional approach versus AI-assisted approach looks like. And as part of in any design process or creative process, you have to start with idea generation. Now, the traditional methods usually involves manual brainstorming and relying on the team's experience on working with similar projects in the past, right? So when you bring in AI tools to collaborate alongside with, you can use these ideas very fast and iterate on it. You will have access to a much diverse set of data-driven ideas of what has worked in the past. And it's not just what has worked for you in the past, but what has worked for collectively for a lot of other creative projects, brands, creative agencies. So it's a repository of all this data that AI has been trained on. And when you ask it to give you such ideas, it'll give you very good in terms of data-driven, what has worked, and you can use this to then further build on your concept, right? So what are the tools that are best used over here? In fact, there's so many tools, right? Like every single day we have a new use case, and every other week we have a new AI tool. But most effectively, I think you can just stick to either ChatGPT and then use Midjourney in this particular phase. There is also Cloud AI by Anthropic. It's great at creative brainstorming and concepting, but ChatGPT GPT-4 has worked great for me, and also it does a lot of other things. So I stick with it. And yeah, so that's one way you can right away start integrating into your idea generation process. And let me walk you through a quick, simple case study. All right. So I had this concept on my mind where I wanted to create an image that signifies the human-made impact on global warming. So I had this idea of blending an image of floating ice cap with human fingerprint because this will like signify how we are responsible for this to happen, right? So these ideas, I mean, I had to start somewhere. I had to start brainstorming somewhere. And what tool do you think is the best for this use case? Where did I go to first look for and to start generating these images? Um, so you can type it in the chat below. We would love to hear from you. How would you go about it? If you have been using AI tools, what would you have done? DALI, right? Petra is saying DALI. Absolutely. DALI is one of the best tools. Um, and you're spot on over there. Carrie is saying, did you use image to image for these? Is this uh, there are more, is this for a client or pure personal creativity? So this was a bit of both, and I was actually exploring some of the use cases which we could work with. Firefly, yes. DALI and Midjourney, yes. So a lot of, I mean, there are multiple ways to approach a particular idea or a concept, right? And what I stuck to here was first trying to get these concepts, ideas of what I could really create, what can be the creative direction to go after. And you might see a lot of examples in how to just get started, and then you can go on a tangent in a completely new creative direction. But the first thing I would do is, and I've a lot of other creative professionals who I've talked to also do this, you just go onto ChatGPT and try to understand, hey, these are my ideas. This is what is my idea about. This is the brand. This is the target audience. And I want some creative ideas for this. You can give it a character and you can ask it, hey, what are the campaigns that has worked in the past? Or ask it for, hey, what are the two concepts that are completely stripped of each other, that are completely opposite, and then which you can blend and create a compelling visual out of it, right? So I just went about exploring, experimenting some of those. And here you can see I get some great ideas. Hey, it says ocean waves in the form of a heartbeat, mountain range resembling a human face. Then on the point number 5, you see cloud formation resembling a handprint, right? So I actually went on to create some of these images. And the cloud formation resembling a handprint actually gave me the idea, hey, why not use fingerprint as a way to show how the ice cap are melting, right? So this was my own, when I went through it, I was curating through all the ideas that I was getting, and then I was going in my own creative direction, right? So you can be informed with the data-driven ideas that ChatGPT is providing you. The good thumb rule is the first 3, just leave it, like just don't follow up on it, because these are the most common examples that are out there. But then you need to bring your own creative vision and take it into a different direction, right? And this can be inspired from the previous work, right? This is how most of the creative work gets done, by getting inspired from the previous ideas. All right, so then I went on to simply use DALI 3, right? So what's cool about DALI 3 is that when you have a complex idea, you can almost be sure that you will be able to generate it without much problems, or at least get very close to what you had on mind. If it's a very unique concept, that's the place to look for first. So I went on and I got these wonderful images which matched my creative vision perfectly well. Or I can say these are like AI assisted creative visions, right? Because I was collaborating with AI in this particular process. So we actually walked through this entire framework of creative concepting with AI, which is an important part of any creative project as part of our bootcamp. By the way, I mean, this is very hard to achieve in Mid-Journey. In fact, I tried this a couple of times and I failed. But with DALL-E, I was able to get pretty close to it. So it's important to know which tool stack to use, or you might just end up getting frustrated and trying with prompt variations, right? So you can go ahead and try this approach for your next creative project as well and see how it works out for you, right? So there is no one size fits all. It is just an example of how you should start thinking and how you should follow an approach to your creative projects. And in fact, we do cover the entire creative concepting in AI in a complete module, and we can talk really deeply about this, what framework to use. All right, so then the next phase, concept development, the traditional method, of course, I mean, if you, most of you over here are creative professionals, you're doing sketching and prototyping by hand, iterations based on team feedback. Now think of using AI-powered tools, right? So you can rapidly prototype, just like you saw in the previous slide, where I was rapidly creating images from the ideas that I was getting. And I was doing quick iterations based on the AI suggestions that I was receiving, right? And I was trying to add my own creative ideas on top of it. All right, so there are so many AI tools that are out there. I think it's a mistake to start exploring every single tool that is out there. There are always a set of workflows that you can build for yourself, and there are pretty good tools, a stack of 10 AI tools that you can think of that you can start using again and again. Because most of the other AI tools that are out there are built on top of the API, which is Advanced Programming Interface of this either OpenAI or Stable Diffusion, right? Midjourney does not have its API yet. But you can think of every other AI tool is just a replica of what are the models that are out there, and they are fine-tuned, or the UI is built specifically for your specific industry use case, right? So think of what workflows you can build, and we definitely know that the future is definitely human and AI collaboration. So think of how you can integrate AI into your creative process right from now. So I wanted to share some real world examples out here. And this is a wonderful example where AI helps create visuals to deliver the powerful message. So this is an AI powered campaign, which was created by creative director Margarita Barreto. You can go follow her, check her on LinkedIn. Think of like the world is facing climate crisis, and this campaign brings attention to this problem. And the whole process was mostly in terms of how Margarita could build this creative concept and then use AI as tools, as just tools to bring those creative concepts to life, right? So that's how we should think of this. And these are infinitely powerful. If you have a creative vision, creative idea that you're working on, they will help you, and these AI tools will help you get those results faster and iterate on a ton of ideas that you might have and get to the final creative vision faster. Now, this is another wonderful example by Jose. He's our AI Bootcamp student, and he's a super talented creative fashion photographer. You should check out his works on LinkedIn. And we asked Jose, actually, we keep in touch with our previous participants to really get their feedback. We asked him what impact does integration of AI had on his creative process and creativity. And according to him, AI offers a whole new world of possibilities and opportunities. So right now, 90% of his work incorporates some or the other form of AI, right? And AI tools have streamlined the process for him. And in the past, achieving coherent results like this, like from frame to frame, having many different photographs and having the same coherent results across it, involved a lot of time-consuming processes that were not very reliable. So yeah, here is a great example of how he uses AI every single day in his photography work. So go ahead and follow him for more inspiration and check out his AI-powered portfolio. He does a great job every single day, and he keeps posting on LinkedIn. All right, so what I wanted to share here was an AI workflow, a simple AI workflow that I was exploring, and this was quite a few months ago. What I really love is building AI workflows that can achieve a specific result. And this is a very simple AI workflow that I can show you here right now. So I started with some sketches, right, of this race car. Then I went and used ControlNet within Stable Diffusion, where it's a layer on top of just prompting. So ControlNet, as the name suggests, gives you even more control over the final AI image generation because you have a sketch as a reference, not just the prompt, but the prompt goes along with the reference sketch like you have over here. And there are many different ControlNet models where you can see, hey, how the results vary. We'll not get into that. But once we get that, you can then go and use an AI video or motion generator where you can actually specify what kind of how much motion do you want and what kind of scene it is, and then it can create a simple animation for you, right? A lot of short films that you're seeing right now, AI trailers, are are done very similarly. So I have not seen many people using Stable Diffusion and ControlNet, but you generate your image with Midjourney or DALL-E, and then take it into Runway. You can use a ton of different controls over there. We'll take a look at a couple of them. And with that, you can build a very good, short, compelling video. So here is an example of how you can create consistent characters as well using this AI tool. So there is no limit to it right now. If you want to create consistent photographs, consistent characters, it's totally possible. This was done within DALL-E 3. And once you have your favorite photograph, you can quickly go. Right? So I chose one of the photos, and then I used Runway to quickly animate this particular image, right? So that there are some best practices to know because Runway can do a lot of missteps. A lot of them don't make any sense, but there are some best practices that you can follow. And here is a great example of how you can quickly animate it. So you can also create very consistent AI-generated models and photographs. You can create a model, shoot first, and then you can use it multiple times to create that consistent character. So all of these AI workflows can be built. And this was actually right within Midjourney, where you can use these different processes, different features that are out there, different techniques that are out there to build certain workflows that work for your projects and get these consistent visuals that you need. It might be for storyboarding, it might be for some e-commerce or fashion photo shoot. Yeah, so here is another great example where you have just within Midjourney, you can bring to life very creative images, very unique concepts. Think of how this model is actually in a desert, but she's wearing these goggles from skiing, right? So this was one of the examples that we tackled in our bootcamp, and how you can take it from there, because these two concepts are very opposite, right? She's in a desert, but she has ski goggles. How can you really make this possible within Midjourney or within AI image generator? And from there, how you can take it and manipulate the images to then get closer to your final creative vision. So there can be a ton of great examples and your workflows that you can build within Midjourney. Here is another example of how you can use Runway, and they have very simple camera movements that have been provided. And now you can get more control in terms of your camera movements by adding those motion and using those pan, zoom, roll camera movements and providing it a value. And you can get really good control of your final creative vision that you want to build. All right, so AI has the potential to reduce content pre-production efforts by up to 80%. So real-world evidence from creative agencies shows significant time and effort savings. Actually, the previous participants from our bootcamp, from our AI bootcamp, are reaching out to us, and we are getting their feedback in terms of actual improvements they have seen and trying to quantify them. We will share more data and case studies on this in the next few months. For example, a storyboarding project that would take almost a month to create from scratch can now be done in just a couple of days, right? And with all the examples that I've showed you earlier, you can apply these same techniques to get those workflows set up and make your process much faster. And you'll have much reduced design turnaround time. So this was using Pika 2.0, and this was done by the talented director and our friend Mathan. And he has remade a commercial that he directed a year ago, right? So you can see on the right, on the left side, you have the original shot with the cameras, and on the right side is the Pika version, which is 100% made with AI. The original was made using live footage that was captured with high-speed cameras and a crew of over 30 people. And this took around about a month of production. And the second one was made using Pika and no images from the original production, except for the last product shot that is there from the brand's website, right? So this is the power of AI tools and AI workflows right now. Right. So there are so many AI tools that are out there, and it's very hard to stay up to date. I'm pretty sure this is a problem, and this is a problem for a lot of people that have been reaching out to us and are telling us, "Hey, how do you keep up with these AI tools?" Because there is no stop to it, right? There will be new tools that are coming up, and they keep getting updated every single month with a new version that they come up with. So changes are happening super fast, and I hear this a lot that and I keep getting asked that should we wait until the practical applications come up and the industry adopts when it is ready, or maybe wait for Adobe to build all of these in their creative suite. So now the question of when it is going to be ready is always I think of it as a sliding scale, right? So I heard this from someone in a completely different context, but I think it applies so well over here in terms of practical applications. We are already there. You have already seen creative agencies using these tools and adopting, and a lot of creative professionals have already been using this. So creative professionals and agencies have seen huge benefits in terms of productivity and for their entire team, right? So this question of is it should we wait for a practical solution to appear 6 months down the line or 1 year down the line? Is I think the best answer to this is the right thing to do is to adopt and implement right now, build the fundamentals of your AI skills and build your AI portfolio and position yourself for the AI-driven future, right? Because wonderful things can be done right now just within the tool stack and the progress AI has made. All right, so I wanted to teach you one of the most common questions that I come across that, hey, how do you structure your prompt? So this one, I see that this is still a challenge with a lot of beginners. I think people who have been using these tools, if you have been using this every day, this is not really you have experimented a ton. But for beginners who are here on the call, I just wanted to face this question right away and help you get started on these AI tools, right? So this is the most important skill that you will learn when you're starting to generate images, which is building your prompts. So imagine you're tasked with creating a storyboard in just 5 minutes, right? And this is an actual project that might come across. Usually you get handed over with projects, hey, can you get this done within the next 2 days, right? So think of those scenarios when you are crunched with time. And how do you actually build your prompts to then get control over your images? Certain level of control, right? This is what I want to teach you over here. So a basic prompt can be astronaut in a jungle followed by the style. So this is the basic prompt. You always have a style and that or an aesthetic that goes along with it, and you have the subject and the setting, astronaut in a jungle followed by cinematic. So now if you want to take it to the next level and get more control over your image generation, you can use this power of building and structuring your prompts. And it really works. It gives you a lot more control, and you already see that you can make a ton of changes and get more control over your subject, over your surroundings, over the composition. So the prompt structure, if you can think of, should be a subject followed by an emotion for the subject. This is very important. It's always important to take care of, to provide certain emotion based on the scene that you're building, based on the context in a setting and atmosphere, with lighting and mood, followed by composition, inspired by style, which is the aesthetic, right? Followed by aspect ratio and negative prompt. So this is a prompt structure that you can use with Midjourney 5.2, version 5.2. Midjourney V6 is a little more more natural language, just like ChatGPT or DALL-E 3. But I feel that most of the use case, if you're beginning, this is already great to start off with, even with Midjourney V6, if you have access to it. So think of any creative concept, any scene that you have in mind. If you can break it down into these buckets, these important, let's say, keywords, you can really take control of your image generation within Midjourney. There's a great way to get started when you're starting to generate images, and it works great across Stable Diffusion. DALL-E also works great. I think it understands all of this very, very well. All right, so this final prompt is how it looks like. A male astronaut looking up amazed in a jungle, golden hour, close-up shot, cinematic, 8K. I think these are the things that you can drop out when you're using V6. But if you're using any previous versions, this is great to have. And then you can provide negative prompts. Negative prompts are super important. We talk a lot about this, but right now you can understand this particular structure and take control of your image generation. Think of, you want to create storyboard and you want to build different frames, and you want really good control over the surrounding, the composition, and the subject, the astronaut over here. All right. So there are so many possibilities just with this simple technique. If you think about it, you can change the surroundings, change the composition of the subject. You can say it front view and with a mask background, backlight, for example, and you get this image. Here, you can introduce some fine-tuning words, like you want to build a mysterious scene over there. You can introduce those keywords. Plus, you can change the surroundings. Like here, it's a winter forest, right? And the astronaut is looking up front into the camera. So you can use all of these keywords, put it in the structure that I provided you, and you can take control of your image generation. All right, so we would love to know what's the one key insight that resonated with you the most. So share your thoughts in the comments below. What's the one key insight, what you can take away that from this particular presentation? What resonated with you the most? Loretta says prompt building. Oh, wonderful. Great. I'm glad that was helpful. I know a lot of people who have been using these tools, probably the prompt structure you're familiar with, but a lot of beginners find this very, very helpful because I've seen a lot of questions. Hey, I try to prompt and I don't get the image, and they get frustrated and they leave. So I think this is one of the most important challenges for anyone who is starting out. And also people who have been using it, maybe if you have not structured your prompts very well, always think of building your creative vision and breaking it down. Thank you, Kerry. Thanks for that. DALI new capabilities, yes. Awesome. So thanks for sharing, everyone. That helps us a lot, and we will know what really works, what you care about, what are your challenges. Connect with us on LinkedIn, right, and tell us what are your challenges. We are very happy to listen to you. All right, so there is so much more to learn, right? With all of this, I mean, I've showed with you, I've showed you different workflows that you can build. I mean, these are like some of the examples. What are the best practices? What can be done? What can be the end result? And most importantly, I really like the fact that how you can think of using like how the machine can be creative and how you can capitalize on that, how you can leverage that, right? And build your own creative visions from it. So AI today and AI future, I think this is definitely going to be a wonderful future, and we are just scratching the surface over here with whatever I was sharing. So I will hand it over to Diana right now, and she will share some wonderful examples about our program.
Thank you so much, Sachin. We are having such a nice messages in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone. I can't stop reading. Okay. I need to focus. So we have a lot of requests, and I would like to join just in a few minutes what we are doing and what is the AI Bootcamp. We are providing the online program for 2 weeks. It's an intensive program where we are helping you to unlock the full potential of AI in your creative process. This is the bootcamp for creatives. We are not teaching something outside the creative process. It's not only ChatGPT. So we are focusing on different kind of tools. We are tool agnostic, and we are teaching different kind of workflows. If you are a beginner, this is the program for you. If you have used Midjourney for a few months, but you are not getting the results that you want, or you cannot achieve consistent characters, this is the bootcamp for you. In case you are working with AI tools, but you want to explore more tools in details and not spend a lot of time on the YouTube, this is the bootcamp for you. Sachi, please share next slide. So who is this course for? It's for creative and art directors, for creative leaders, for designers, and for producers. And the next slide, please. And our bootcamp had already been provided for a few months. We have provided 4 different cohorts. And this is who had joined our previous cohorts. So we had founders, CEO of creative agencies, creative art directors, graphic designers, photographers, filmmakers, a lot of award-winning talented creatives, and we are super grateful that they are seeing the value that we are providing and helping them adapt in this AI future. So what we will focus on, you will master generative AI and innovate your creative process. We will have 4 live sessions over those 2 weeks, and you will learn AI foundations for creatives on the first live session. We will create unique concepts with AI. We will dive into AI workflows, and there will be different kind of tools. And we will create compelling short AI videos, and we will have also guest speakers who are experts in this, and they will share their best tips and advices. Please, next. So here you can check the structure of our bootcamp. Let me just share very quickly the link to the website where you can read more about it. One second. Okay, in case you want to read more and check specific topics that we are covering. So our bootcamp is 2 weeks, and you will have the materials to go through from Monday to Friday. We will have live sessions, but also we have a very big library of pre-recorded materials and projects that you can practice your skills and implement them. So at the first week, we will have 2 live sessions. The first session will be focused on AI foundations for creatives. Later, you will have the pre-recorded materials and dive into how you can unlock different kind of AI tools, free, paid, what is worth to diving for and invest in your time. I suggest if you want to join our program to reserve 3 if you want to do more stuff and look into pre-recorded materials, I suggest it should be 5 hours. The next slide, please. The second session will be provided by our guest speaker, award-winning creative director Eric Day, and he will dive through how you can do the concepting with generative AI. And then we will have the weekend. You will have enough time to do your projects and experiment with new AI tools. And we will dive into the next week. Next slide, please. So in the next week, we will dive very deeply into Midjourney and more advanced workflows with different kind of AI tools. We will create images, learn how we can animate them, create little kind of videos, different product photo shoots. We will create on-brand designs. We will talk about prompt crafting funnel. We will go through it every day. Me and Sachin are available in the chat, and also there is a possibility to book the mentoring session with us. So we will make sure to keep you accountable and to help you out with your projects that you are working on. I have the question. Each session is 19 minutes. It's 60 minutes workshop where we are just teaching and giving the value, and then we have 30-minute Q&A, and also we have active chat every day. And during the second week, we will have the advanced AI workflow on the live session, and we will also have the AI storytelling, and we will have the last day, the community hour, where we are showcasing what have we learned and showcasing our projects that we have done with AI. Please, next slide. Yeah, I believe here is the photo of Martin, our dearest friend. He's the co-founding director of Pika, and he had created the first AI-powered ad commercial for his client, and he's walking through the whole process, how he had been doing this, what was his mindset around this, and he will teach us how we can use AI for storytelling and how we can create AI videos. Please, the next slide. So here we have mentioned the tools that we are going through. We have a lot of pre-recorded materials which are showcasing specific kind of tasks that you can focus on more. We have creatives that are working in different kind of industries. So I believe that that will be very important and relevant for a different kind of industry to use different kind of workflow. We have only 20 seats every cohort, because that way we can be accountable of each of our students and we can check their projects and respond to their messages. I think it's very important that you feel this personalized attention to you, and this is what differentiates us from any other different online course. And I already need to tell you that we have early birds. So right now for upcoming bootcamp that is starting on Monday, we have only 10 seats left. Please, the next slide. So those are the dates and the pricing. You can also get reimbursed by your employer. All the information you can find on the website, the link you can find in the chat, and also we will share the QR code. The next bootcamp will start next Monday, and it will be from 15th January to 26th. Please, next slide. Here is a special coupon code for you. If you will use ALM100, you will get $100 discount from our upcoming bootcamp. So in case you want to join us, it's just a little nice bonus for you joining our workshop today, and we are so grateful for your time. Why not to share and inspire you to join? And the next slide, please. So here you can scan the QR code. Also, if you are joining from your mobile phone and it's easier for you, you can just find the link in the chat. We are hosting our cohort through the Maven. So every student will have his own dashboard. And you can submit your projects, you can review your library of pre-recorded materials. After those 2 weeks, you will have access to this library of materials for a long period of time. So no worries, you can come back and rewatch some materials. Our students share with us that we have a very useful bonus for them, Midjourney prompt formulas, which is the biggest library that we have created over a few months. And they are coming back in different kind of projects that they are focusing on to pick up the prompts for specific kind of use case. So this is not only the materials, we also have bonuses there. More information you can find on the page after scanning this QR code. In case you have any questions about the presentation or about our AI Bootcamp, feel free to type them in the chat. I see that we are on time, but we are open to take the questions. Also, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions. Thank you so much. Oh, I see messages. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. We have a question. Could you please suggest an AI image generator tool which is free? I have tried Runway, but it didn't work properly. Okay, yeah, sure. But what kind of use case you would like Alishka to focus on? Because there are so many different AI image generators. I believe it is important to understand what kind of use case you're needing it for. One of the free generators that I can suggest is Ideogram. It understands the prompts very easily. It's free. It can generate text as well. It's very fun to play with. Maybe that's a good choice.
Yeah.
And you have more suggestions in the chat.
I would also suggest Leonardo AI because you get free credits every single day, so it's free to use, and it's powered with Stable Diffusion, and you have specific fine-tuned models that you can use there. So it works great for this. The results are sometimes for specific cases comparable to Midjourney 5.2.
Okay, great. Do we have more questions? Feel free to unmute yourself or type them in the chat. Thank you so much. We had a question about the sound for AI animation.
Sorry?
We had a question about creating the sound or the music for AI animation before. I believe I have suggested the neural frames. This is the startup created by Nicholas, based in Germany. And I think for music kind of animation, AI video, this is one of the best tools. You can check it out. It's really cool.
Yeah, neural frames is great if you want to explore in terms of music video creation. It is like using, if you know about Deforum extensions in Stable Diffusion, so you can use a video as a reference and do a style transfer on top of it, or you can use an image and create some certain style transfers, and every frame looks very creative, and then it stitches them together and it looks like a cool music video. It works only great for certain abstract concepts, and for music videos it will not work well for realistic or cinematic trailers that you want to create, you want to explore.
And we have one more question. Do you intend to develop more advanced AI bootcamps as follow-up to the introductory course? Sachin.
Yeah, this is actually what I'm working on. I'm very passionate about it. like I highlighted in the presentation, right? So Midjourney is great, DALL-E is great, Leonardo is great. Every single tool is great in its own ways. Um, they are used well for specific use cases, but the power really lies in using AI workflows, how you can plug and play different models that are out there to build your final, the final execution of it. And here, Stable Diffusion along with Comfy UI as your interface works really great, and it has been taking a lot of attention right now. And you can build really complex and really interesting workflows within Comfy UI. We are working on, along with one of the experts, we are working on building this as a standalone advanced AI course or bootcamp, let's say, again, in a similar manner, having live sessions. And it does involve a lot more learning curve, and it also requires certain, system requirements, performance requirements from your laptop. If that is an issue, then there is always a way to run it on the cloud with some of these applications like Run Diffusion, where you have to pay like 50 cents or $1 for the GPU on the cloud, and then you can use the whole Comfy UI or Automatic 1111. These are the two UIs that you can use on the cloud. So this is possible as well. Since there are possibilities, and we have seen that a lot of interest is coming from that side, where you want to build more intricate workflows and not just prompt and create images with Midjourney, which has its wonderful applications also, right? So that's when I think we are diving deep into it and trying to create this as a standalone course. But that's definitely coming. This is what I'm working on. Thanks for the question.
We have the next question. Will this recording be available to us? I had jumped in late. Thank you. Yes, this recording will be available to the people who have registered for this workshop, so you can watch it a little bit later. And in case you want to join our bootcamp, you're welcome. In case you have more questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to answer. We have also the question, can I use Midjourney? 1 second, I have lost it just right now. And ControlNet.
No, you cannot use, there is no ControlNet extension in Midjourney. Again, ControlNet is more of an extension which was built for Stable Diffusion. Now, since Midjourney is not using Stable Diffusion, it does not support ControlNet. But there is an alternative which is using images as a reference, but it will not do any good job like doing like what ControlNet does, where you give it a sketch and it really follows those particular outlines, right? Or like OpenPose ControlNet or Canny ControlNet, these different models. You don't have those options in Midjourney. What you can do is you can use image as a reference and then prompt next to it. Of course, there are many different ways from there. You can do image weights and you can provide multiple image references. All of this can be done. Of course, we walk into this much more deeply within Bootcamp, but there is a way to get it done, but it will not get you 100% of what reference image that you have. There is always that layer of creativity that Midjourney adds, and you don't have any control over it.
Okay, we have a follow-up question. So Stable Diffusion and ControlNet will produce better results. Better for which use case? Alexander, please let us know what kind of task you want to achieve. So yeah, that way we can advise you better. And just to mention, we are not affiliated with any of these programs. So we are just advising what is working for us, what is working for experts that are co-working with us. We have gone through just so many testing, so much time invested in all of this, and we are just recommending what is working and what is worth, for example, subscribing to our opinion. But there are different kind of solutions which can be cheaper or free, which do not give the same results, but it's also your decision. Do you want to invest your time into getting those results, or you want to invest a little bit more money and get those results faster? I believe that there are different kind of solutions, and you can definitely find the right one that works for you better. In case you're asking for this control net and stable diffusion, maybe you are creating a product design photography. One of the use cases that I was working with before is creating a sofa designs and bag designs, and I wanted to change the material. And although I know that there is a special tool for this, which is called Refabricate, it was not working well for me. So I was using the new arc, and there are 3 credits to just test it out. Maybe this will be a good choice for you as well and for your workflow. So you can just check newarc.ai, I believe, and test out on your few free credits. Do we have more questions? Maybe I have missed your question in the chat. Please double down it or feel free to unmute yourself and ask. I'm happy to help. We have a few more minutes. I believe we had a comments before about achieving the consistent character in the chat. It was not a question, but people were interested how they can achieve it. Any insight on that, Sachin?
Yeah, we actually designed, we didn't mention this, but we designed our own consistent character GPT. And I'm super passionate about that one. I spent a whole night's effort in trying to experiment what really works. And a lot of people have used it and have created really wonderful concepts. I do have a LinkedIn post, which is on my feature profile. I think, Diana, can you share the link? And you can anybody who has ChatGPT Plus membership can use our consistent character GPT and just follow the instructions, very straightforward to use, and you can start creating your own. So what I showed you on the presentation is done exactly that way, and it's pretty straightforward. You just need to follow the instructions that the GPT is asking you, the flow that I have built in there, and it's gonna create you really cool, really great consistent characters. Actually, we would love to see what you come up with. A lot of people have been sharing, so we want to see what you guys come up with as well, so that we can take a look or help you if something is not working. Right? I love to have feedback on these tools so that I can add additional things, some features on top of it. Right? So that I'm really passionate about that one. So Diana did share, right? So thanks, Diana. So Diana just shared the consistent character GPT. If you have ChatGPT Plus subscription, you would be able to use it because it needs DALL-E 3 integration and also code interpreter. So this is only possible with ChatGPT Plus. We are not getting any fee for it, at least not yet, because there is no ChatGPT store. So it's purely because it needs DALL-E 3 and a code interpreter.
Yep. I have shared the link to the chat GPTs created by Sachin for consistent characters in the chat. Also, I know that a lot of experts suggesting Musavir. I can achieve consistent characters with Midjourney and with this chat GPT, so that is my personal choice. But in case you're curious, you can also try that one out. We had a question about subscription to those tools from Buddy. No, we are not reimbursing any subscription. If you will decide to subscribe to Midjourney or to Runway, or you will decide to just use free credits on Leonardo, it's totally your choice. I can just tell that we are diving in ChatGPT and we are diving in Midjourney more through our bootcamp. So we suggest to subscribe to those tools. Hopefully that coupon code for $100 will cover that expense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we have one more question. Is there a tool where I can place an existing product image, for example, a PNG, and prompt in a specific setting? You can use image reference in Midjourney, and then you can prompt the specific setting. It will not use the exact product, but you can give different kind of image weight to it that it will be super similar. Another way to approach this is to use the product, take the background out, create the background, for example, with Midjourney or another AI image generator, and then combine them together. So you will have the exact image of your product, and also you will have the new setting where it's placed. Maybe that will work for you.
Yeah, that's all. I'm taking this question as, hey, you want to change the background. When you mean setting, you just want to change the background, and the PNG is just a transparent image of the subject. So why don't you just use, I mean, Canva is the best way, just layer it up, put the product or whatever the subject is in front, and generate just the background separately in Midjourney and just combine them together. Easiest way to get it done. Right, so that's the way I would go about it.
We have comments. Yes, Canva is great. Yes, Canva is great. They have over 10 AI tools integrated. So it's a really cool solution. Do we have more questions? Feel free to type them in the chat.
All right. So if you love this particular workshop, you found a ton of value in it, and you're going to try it out, we would love to see what you create. And if you think others will benefit from these kind of workshops as well, please do share about this particular workshop and what you learned, and we would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, so that way others will also get to know about us and network with us, and will get to see what you have been creating. So was really great sharing in this workshop all the amazing examples, and loved seeing all your comments. Thank you so much for engaging with us.